Hi, welcome to the channel. My name is Joe Osmus with HomeSmart Realty Group. I generated 100 leads using Facebook ads in less than a month, and I'm going to show you how to do it today. Let's get started. All right, guys, let's get started. This is Joseph Osmus. I am a real estate agent with HomeSmart Realty Group in Colorado Springs, Colorado. And today we are taking a look at a tutorial for setting up a Facebook ad. Now, we're not just taking a high-level overview of how to set up a Facebook ad. I'm diving into how I set up my ads for my business to generate buyer leads, over 100 leads in less than 1 month's time. And we're going to get started right now. So let's jump over to my Facebook business page. Now, if you don't have a Facebook account, get one. And if you don't have a business page associated with your account, create one. That's just going to be great for, posting all your social content on that is related to your business. But anyways, when we come to the page here, we'll go to the ad center up here and pull this up here. So I'll first show you a recent ad that I completed, and then we're actually going to walk through and build one so that you can see all the steps associated with this process. Okay, so I'm going to jump into this one real quick here just to show you some real life results that I'm receiving from running these ads. This one, I ran this on this property for a short time, over 7 days. I normally recommend to run them for 10 days. Now, if the listing does sell in that time frame, you can certainly pull it down and grab another ad, or another property. But honestly, if it's performing well, why would you? The way that I would handle that when you get those leads on the phone is just to be straight up with them and let them know, hey, look, this property is actually no longer available, but I'm so glad they reached out to me here, indicating that you're interested in a property like this because can grant you access to the MLS, and you get them set up on a search there, whether it's through your IDX website or if you're actually setting them up on an auto email through the MLS. It does not matter. Once you've gotten in front of this lead, you have the opportunity to convert them and to find them a similar property. And who knows, maybe this one was not going to meet their needs anyways. So I wouldn't necessarily recommend to take it down. Now, I don't believe that it's really ethical to continue to run the ad for months on end after a property is off market. But for a short period, 7 to 10 days, no harm, no foul is the way that I'm looking at it when your whole intent is for generating leads and converting them to buyer clients, right? So let's take a look here at this performance recap here on the screen. So I spent $35 on this particular ad over 7 days. That's only $5 per day. I actually recommend double that and to spend $10 a day. You're just going to get more of a massive result, and that's what I use with my business per real estate leads with my clientele, is to run $10 a day ads. It just maximizes your result. But even for a smaller budget, take a look at the results that we got here. We got 26 unique lead forms filled out. And I mean, here's some of the folks right here, and it goes into all of them. But look at this. I got names, email addresses, telephone numbers for each one of these leads here. The ad itself reached over 1,300 people in in that 7-day time frame, my cost per lead was only $1.35. Is that something that you can afford to put out there to capture leads and to start converting them into clients? I would be as bold as to say, yes, it is. And this is what we're going to do today. We're going to set up one that kind of mirrors what I did here to get you similar, if not better, results. Okay. So let me jump out of this one here, and we're going to go over here to create ad. And Facebook will ask us, how would you like to grow your business with all these options here, or even automating your ads. Now, this is what this whole topic is about. So, and they are even recommending it for my business just because of the business that I'm in. So we're going to get more leads here. Click this. I've got a form here where this is say sign up by providing your info below. This is a preview on the right side with their email, full name, and phone number. Now this form is integrated right into Facebook. So as soon as they click on the ad, the learn more button, which I'll show you next, then it brings them right to this form. The powerful thing about using a form within Facebook versus an external squeeze page or an external link to your website or a squeeze page within your website is that within Facebook, it's going to populate these fields for your lead based on the email, full name, and phone number of that person that Facebook has on file in their account for them. So they don't even have to fill that out. That's one less barrier between you and capturing this lead. And it also makes the accuracy of the information that you're going to get so much more. Now, they could certainly go in here and change this information and or Facebook might have it wrong to begin with. But this is a numbers game. If you can generate 100 leads in less than a month for, a cost per lead of what I just showed you, then honestly, who cares if 90 of them are not going to pan out for you? If you have 10 of them and you have one or two of them that are ready to go right away this month, and the other, 9 or 8 of them are going to be ready within the next 3, 6, 9, 12 months time. How powerful is this if you run this every single month and you stay on top of contacting these leads and being top of mind? How will that impact your business? If you're getting even just one lead that's ready to convert every single month, and that becomes a transaction and a closing and a commission check for you every single month, and you've got several others that are building up your pipeline down the line to where 6, 9, 12 months from now, your business, it's a game changer for you, right? So anyways, let's jump back into this. I also wanted to show you, I have a CMA form that I used to answer a few quick questions. This is something that you can use to get seller leads. Now, my whole focus for my business and my clients is buyers, but I have a CMA form in here just to show you. I answer a few quick questions to obtain your home value in a professional report layout by email. I'm asking them if they're currently working with a real estate agent to sell their home, full name, phone, email, all the good demographic information that you'll need there. Also the street address and zip code of the property so that I can prepare that CMA and send it to them. It's another way for me to capture those seller leads, provide value to them, and then stay in front of them and, stay in touch with them until they are ready to list. So you can certainly use that for your business as well. When you come in here, you likely won't have any forms set up, and you can just create a new one here. This is what that looks like. So the form name, this is not displayed to the public. It's just something for you to keep track of. So you can put, for example, buyer lead form right? And that just helps you keep it straight. If you have several forms in there, that's just for internal use for yourself only. You can customize the form text here where it says sign up by providing your info below. You can change that up like I had on my CMA form. You can put a headline and a description on there. For my purposes for capturing these buyer leads, I just use sign up by providing your info below. Just nice and simple, right to the point. It defaults to just these boxes checked for customer info, email, and full name. We definitely want a phone number too to call and text these folks, right? So go ahead and click on that one. Facebook does say people may be more likely to complete your form with only 2 fields. Consider requesting only the most important info. Guess what? For my needs, all 3 of these are equally important. You can even add more, but I would not. I just want phone, email, and name. So those are the 3 I'm going to check, and I'm going to ignore this warning here and continue down. Add a privacy policy. I'm going to click through here. At the bottom of this form preview, we hit, here's the next button. So when they click that, then it brings them to this next screen. You hit the arrow to see what they'll see. So as soon as they put in their information and hit next, it goes here and says, by clicking submit, you request Facebook to send your info to the agent. Keep in mind that Facebook does not control how they'll use your information. And then they'll list on here, view Facebook data policy, and they'll also list, go to the name of that business page. Mine is Joseph Osmus Realtor on Facebook. But this box down here in the bottom left corner, add a privacy policy. It's optional. I recommend creating a privacy policy. I'm going to create a separate video on that content of what to include in your privacy policy, where to go to poach one, and then just make it your own. And I just have this linked to a privacy policy page on my website. But I included in there. Again, not a big deal. Most people are going to breeze through this, but if they are at all concerned about it, I think it really helps them to, if they've already gotten to this point and they're worried about how you're going to use their data, they can certainly look at it. It's just nice to have, right? So then the last step is they hit submit here, and that brings them to the third page here. Thanks, you're all set. Your info has been sent. Perfect. So you would hit save form at that point. I'm going to cancel because I already have one that I'm going to be using, right? So use saved form. So I'm using my lead capture form here. That brings us to the next page here where we're actually going to be creating the ad. And it defaults to my background image here, just the name of my page, and then my tagline for my business. We're going to change all this up, but the first box I want to show you here is underneath format. It defaults to single image. What we're going to do is go down to slideshow. So I've done a lot of A/B testing where I'll change one variable between 2 otherwise identical ads just to see which one performs better, or I'll just completely change it up and run different ads for the same property. I've ran them with very professional video with drone aerial shots, just nice clean shots running through. It doesn't perform as well with a video as it does just with stills on a slideshow. And that's kind of my secret that I want to share with you. You want to run a slideshow with stills because that just, for at least for my market, that works the best and I get the best results for it. So that is what I recommend and what I run for all of my clients. So you come through here and you can either browse through your library. This just looks right at your account, what videos you already have in existence over there, page, or you can import a video. Just wanted to show you that, but what we're going to actually do is go to use templates and add photos. Sweet. So I'm just going to grab some photos off of my page here, but what you would do is once you have your listing identified, if you don't have them already on your page, you just click on upload images here. But I'm going to grab this top property right here. This is actually the first open house I ever sat. I have a few photos of it here. But what you can do, so let's say that you don't have a listing. Maybe you're a brand new agent, you don't have any listings, but you want to implement this strategy. You can absolutely do it. You just need to get the permission of the listing agent to market the property. And honestly, I've I have heard no from agents, but when I put myself in their shoes, it's like, why would you turn that down? Someone else is going to be marketing your listing for you. Isn't the goal to get this sold for your seller? So, more often than not, they're absolutely all about it. And they're like, yes, please help me market my property. So, once you have the permission to market whatever property, grab the images that show off the property the best, what I call the sexiest images, right? You want to essentially create clickbait here. The Your audience is going to look at the images, they're going to scroll through on the slideshow format, and they're going to be intrigued, and they're going to to know more about that property. So they're going to click and provide their information to you, and bam, you've got a lead, and you have an opportunity to convert them to a buyer client. So you have a preview over here. You can click play and go through here. What I like to do is go ahead and change that duration from the default 1 second to 2. Just give them a little bit more time to kind of soak in the photo. And I also changed the transition from none to fade. I just think it's a lot cleaner looking here, and take a look at that. Honestly, I don't think it matters to add music, but you can do that up here. Facebook has already some music built in that you can use. I've uploaded some music that from my band. That I'm also a musician as well as a realtor and digital marketer, and so I'll use my own clips in there. But I again with the A/B testing, I've not really seen a difference. It's more about the photos for your ads, so you don't even need to mess with music, but you certainly can. And then create slideshow once you're done. It takes a couple of minutes here, but you see this blue progress bar on the screen here as it creates the video. And while that's happening here, we can go ahead and work on the next fields. So the headline here, it doesn't give you a lot of characters, only 25 characters, which is really small. So I'll put something to the effect of now available. Now that small snippet phrase there is very ambiguous. You don't really indicate whether you're talking about whether it's available for rent or for purchase. And I do that by design on certain properties. A property like this is in an area where there are a lot of first-time home buyers. I might be trying to target them, or perhaps there's going to be folks that are interested in rentals. And what I'll do is I'll, capture the leads, whether they're interested in renting or buying it. And I'll let them know at that point, that it is for sale. Here's the purchase price and everything. And I get a lot of resistance from the folks that are only interested in rentals, and it gives me an opportunity to talk to them and plant the seed that for what you're paying in rent, you could be paying for a mortgage and building your own equity. And I've actually been able to convert a lot of renters into first-time homebuyers using this strategy. It's not for everyone, and if you're not interested in targeting renters, that's okay. You can absolutely change this up and put home for sale, right? So we changed that, changed the text here from my from my page tagline. And what I'm going to do is just put a couple of details about the property, enough to get a little bit better targeting. So here I'm going to put 4-bed, 2-bath, home available in Colorado Springs. Click learn more for pricing and location info. And you can see right here, Facebook is popping up a warning saying the text is too long. They want it fewer than 90 characters. If I go over a little bit, I don't think it's going to make or break anything there. So, and each ad that I've ran with the results that I'm getting has been a little bit over. So I largely just ignore this warning. I try to adhere to it a little bit, but I also want to say what I need to say here. If there wasn't a clear photo showing the garage, I might also say 2-bed, 2-bath, 1-car garage home. But right here, it's pretty easy to tell on that first photo that there's a garage, so I'm just going to leave that off of there. I'm just going to put the beds, baths, the city. I'm targeting the city anyways, which we'll see next for audience, but I will put it in there in my ad text. And you can see the preview is generating up here. Here's my page, sponsored. So this is what they're going to see. You can click this, and it'll start the slideshow, and it'll start scanning through here, showing them all the photos. Boom. And then at the bottom here, it says home for sale, and you see this button that says sign up. So that's our call to action button. That's next. I always change it from sign up to learn more. Out of all these options, apply now, download, get quote, sign up, subscribe, learn more is the least level of commitment for a lead. To click a button and just learn more about a property is not a huge commitment. But you know, if they're downloading or applying or signing up or subscribing, that's more significant of a commitment, and you get less clicks that way. Learn more is the least invasive and, you know, most harmless. They're like, oh, what's the harm in just learning a little bit more about this home? Now the flip side of that is you get a lot of looky-loos, and that's okay. I put them in my database, and I just continue to follow up with them because they might come to a point where they're ready in, you know, maybe it's 12 months down the road from when they clicked on my ad. But I don't want to lose out on that opportunity when I already paid for it, right? I paid for each one of these clicks when I ran this ad, so why not build my audience and build my email list that way and just stay in touch with folks and provide value until one day maybe they are ready, or a family member of theirs is ready and they refer them to you. You know, building your database is building referral database as well. So keep that in mind as well. Don't discard these leads or write them off just because they are looky-loos. Stay in front of them and show them that you are an expert in the area, and you'll have opportunities to convert at least some of them. So let's keep moving here and check out audience. You can put people in your local area. You can create these audiences down here. I'm going to choose people you choose through targeting. And here's where you can create a new audience. I've got some saved ones here, but I'm going to go in here and edit the audience. This is going to be the most important thing that you do with your ads. You want to make sure that your targeting is on point, and you want to make sure that you are not violating any fair housing with it, because Facebook will flag you for that. Knowing that your business page is real estate agent page, you can't do any fair housing violations. For one, Facebook might flag you too if, someone, a member of the public or another broker sees that and reports it. You already know that that could be trouble for you. So just make sure that you're targeting. I've never changed the gender. I always go to all, and I always leave the age 18 to 65 plus. Anyone that's of age to sign a contract, I want them to be my audience. If I'm showing homes that aren't suitable for first time home buyers, obviously we know that younger folks are probably less likely to buy a home, but we want to include them so that we're not making any of those violations. And we'll come right back down here to locations. It's going to come to my market, Colorado Springs. If you click this arrow right here, you can change it from the current city to cities within radius. So I'll do that, and I'll go 25 miles out from my town so I can get the surrounding area too. You can add other locations in here. I could add Denver if I wanted to. And you can see, different options in here. So just make sure you're clicking the correct one. But you can add that, and you can see down here, the needle shows whether your audience is specific or broad. It's telling me that my audience is defined and a potential audience size of 2.2 million. That's pretty great right there. If I'm advertising this Colorado Springs home in these two markets, we do get a lot of folks from Denver relocating to the Springs. It's an hour away. So that was actually a pretty good move there. But I'm going to take this a step farther and kind of dial this in. Out of these 2.2 million people, I'm going to start targeting folks down here, include people who match. And what I'm going to put in here is Zillow. And you'll see we have a couple of them here. The top one says employers. We don't want employees of Zillow, but what we do want is people that are interested in Zillow. So I'm going to click that. And it dropped my audience dramatically here from 2.2 million to under 500,000. But that's okay. We want folks that are interested in searching for homes. They're going to be using not only that, but in my market here, another big one is Redfin. So again, skip employers, but add the interests. Trulia. Add that as an interest here. Let's see what else. First time homebuyer. I've got a few options here. You can see there's other options or behaviors. I don't really want any of that. I'm not interested in it. But this Colorado first time homebuyer, I do like that one. I'm going to add that in. Let's see what else. I might even add in home shopping. Now, don't grab the home shopping network because that's not really related. But you can grab home shopping. You can grab house hunt. Now, again, House Hunters is a show on HGTV. It can honestly be a good one to grab. I'm going to grab house hunting as an interest. I might even throw in HGTV. Again, not as an employer. Scroll down to where it says interest. So throw that in there. I might even throw in Home Depot. Again, these are just different interests that I've added in to create a little bit more of a targeted audience. The rationale here is that these folks are interested in real estate in some way or another. They love watching the shows on HGTV. They're interested in house hunting on their own. They're looking at these websites where a lot of folks begin their real estate search. So I want to get in front of all these folks. I'm almost back up to 1 million people here. I got 720,000 potential audience size between the two markets. I think that's pretty good. So I'm going to go ahead and save that. But here's another thing I wanted to show you. You also have the option to exclude people who match. Something that you can use for this would be real estate brokers as a job title. Real estate broker, real estate, let's see, associate. Let's see if agent comes up as one. Real estate agent broker, job title. So you can exclude your competition from seeing your ads in that way. I normally don't go to that length, but I've gotten real estate agents that actually clicked on my ad and requested information, and then when I called them up, they say, "Hey, oh, I'm an agent too. I just kind of wanted to learn what you were doing," which was a little bit irritating. But what happened was they were just a new agent and they didn't know what they didn't know, so they were kind of looking for some advice. So that was actually a real cool situation. Once I talked to them a little bit and learned that that's what they were, why they were interested in it, then I was able to shed some light and be a mentor to that agent in some ways. So kind of cool. But it skewed my data in terms of cost per lead when that happened because it wasn't a true lead, right? So you can certainly exclude them, one, so they don't see what you're doing, and two, so your data is the most accurate. You're not getting any of those false clicks from other brokers, right? So you can go through all that, and I'm just going to hit cancel on that, but you would save it once you create your audience. Scroll down here to days and budget. Again, I recommend running it 10 days. Maybe the properties in your market sit a little bit longer and you want to try it out longer. You can certainly scale that up, 14, 20, 31 days, whatever you want to do, however long you want to run it is entirely up to you. I recommend starting 10 days, see what your result looks like, and then from there determine if the property is still available and you want to run on the same one. If you had great results, then knock yourself out. Run another ad. You can just duplicate everything you did here and even add to the budget on it. But for 10 days, I do recommend a budget of $100. That's $10 a day. And it'll tell you right here your estimated people reach per day, 500 to 1,500. It'll run for so many days ending on such date, and then you put in your payment information down here. Once it's all set up, promote, and it ships your ad over to Facebook's quality assurance team to review it and make sure that you don't have any violations in there like the ones I talked about earlier. If you're targeting only certain income brackets, for example, that's a big no-no now for real estate agents. They don't like you doing that. So the way that I see that is I'm going to include enough information in here to where, if I'm displaying a mansion on here that's, 10 bed, 8 bath, I'll put enough details in here to kind of indicate to folks that this is a high-end property if I'm going for the luxury market, and hopefully that's going to cut down on clicks from folks that are more geared towards lower income or first-time home buyer, right? So I kind of will use the property and the details about it to kind of do my targeting for me beyond what I did up here on my audience page, clicking on all those interests. So all that, and then you promote it, and your ad goes live. And hopefully you guys can implement this with your business and get some of these results like I'm seeing here on my page. Um, but I would love to hear about ads that you ran that were really successful. I'd love to hear about ads that you've ran that were not so and you're struggling with it. Please feel free to reach out to me in the comments on this video here. I know it's running pretty long here, getting long-winded on the video. But I want to thank you guys for checking it out. If you were digging on this, please like and share the video with other folks that you think might benefit. And even consider subscribing to my channel. I'm going to dive into what I do on the back end of this once I have that lead, how I get in front of them. Because I actually want to show you that real quick here. When I went to this lead page, these leads, when they come through, they sit here within Facebook, and I actually have to go in and manually download them. Well, as you likely already know, but if you don't, we'll talk about it here. When you get a lead and they're clicking on the page here, you want to be Johnny on the spot with getting in touch with that lead. You don't want to get back with them in 1 or 2 business days. Ideally, you want to have the phone ringing with you on the other end of them trying to contact that lead while they are still here looking at your ad. That is my goal for you. Or I'm going to dive into what I do for my clients on how I link up a CRM through Facebook to where when they click this lead page and fill out the form, then I get an email, I get a text, and I also get a push notification from the app that my CRM uses. So that CRM, just so you know, is called LionDesk. I'm going to create a ton of content around how I run my business through LionDesk and how I work my leads through it. So please subscribe to the channel if you're interested in seeing that content. Those videos will be coming real soon. But other than that, thank you so much for your time. And if you're interested in having me set up and run ads for you like this, and also providing you with that back end support with automated text and leads, that is something that I offer. I'm going to end with showing you my website here, Pro Real Estate Leads, and you can learn all about what I do here on the site and even sign up for a package to be created for you. Okay. Thank you guys so much for checking this out. I'm going to wrap up